I gotta talk about the last days. So the last days, what are the last days? We are living in the last days. Definitely, we can see signs everywhere. We are, if you know the statue of the dream of Nebuchadnezzar with the head of gold and the whole body, we are really living in the tiptoe of the statue. I believe Jesus is coming back very, very soon, and I pray that He help us all, and I believe He will. So let's talk about Daniel. That's an important story that shows us what is the best diet for us today in these last days. How does Daniel's story in the Bible applies to us today when it comes to eating habits? The Bible gives us a brief account of the life of Daniel, which encourages Christians who might suffer trials and temptation. Daniel had a test of faithfulness where food was involved, just like Adam and Eve, and even just like Jesus. Adam and Eve failed, but Jesus was victorious. Praise God. So in Daniel chapter 1, we learn that children in whom was no blemish, but well favored, and skillful in all wisdom and cunning in knowledge and understanding science, and such as had ability in them to stand in a king's palace, and whom they might teach the learning and the tongue of the Chaldeans. So they were carried in captivity by the king of Babylon. And among them was Daniel, a holy young man of God, and his 3 friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And the king Nebuchadnezzar, he wanted to prepare them for the important mission of his kingdom. And they had to learn the language of the Chaldeans, they had to learn many, many things, and they had to follow courses of physical and intellectual discipline during 3 years. And a test came upon this young man. To give them great mental and physical development, the king thought he was doing them a favor by providing the meat and the wine that came from his table. So the king thought that it was a favor for them to eat this meat and drink this wine. And it was a severe and very risky test. That was a big test. So in Daniel chapter 1 verse 8 we can read, "But Daniel purposed in his heart that he would not defile himself with the portion of the king's meat, nor with the wine which he drank. Therefore he requested of the prince of the eunuch that he might not defile himself." So Daniel was brought into favor to the prince of the eunuch by God, and even if he risked his life by saying, "No, I don't want to eat that," and even his friends, they risked their life. And he requested to have pearls to eat. It means like vegetables, nuts, seeds, fruits, and water to drink. And at the end of the 10 days, their appearance to be compared with the other children of the kingdom who ate the king's meat and drink the wine. So they did this request that they want to eat a specific food and not eat the king's meat. And it was a severe test, and God was with them, definitely. So the Bible describes what the result was at the end of the given period of time. At the end of the 10 days, their countenances appeared fairer and fatter in flesh than all the children which did eat the portion of the king's meat. We can read in Daniel chapter 1 verse 15. So it says they were fairer, so they looked better, and they were even fatter in flesh. It means that they were stronger, but they didn't eat the meat. They didn't eat all the products from the king's table. They did not have the wine. So they looked stronger, better than the other children of the kingdom. So God gave Daniel and his friends knowledge and skill in all learning and wisdom. And Daniel had understanding in all visions and dreams. We can read in chapter 1 and verse 17. And when the king communicated with them, he saw that they were unique children. They were not like the other children. They were different. And in Daniel chapter 1 verse 20, we can read that in all matters of wisdom and understanding, The king inquired of them. He found them 10 times better than all the magicians and astrologers that were in all his realm. So we know the other amazing stories of deliverance of Daniel and his friends. You know, when Daniel went in the lion's den, and when the Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego were thrown in the fire, and Jesus delivered them all of their trials. So there is so much to learn from this story, because we can learn from the character and the personality of Daniel and his friends, and it helps us to prepare for the end times. We can see that history repeats itself. So we're gonna soon face a big test. I believe that we already face some tests in the past, even today. We are all facing tests, and in the future we're gonna face a very big test, maybe the biggest in the world history of humanity. So the book of Daniel and prophecies are revealed, prophecies that concern all of us Christians today. And the revelation of Jesus Christ tells us about the hour of temptation that is coming upon us. In Revelation chapter 3 verse 10, it says, "Because you have kept the word of my patience, I will also keep you from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon the world, the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth." So in the same verse, Jesus also assures us that those who keep the word of his patience will be kept. So in this time of increasing troubles, we need to take Daniel and his friends as our example. The way they honored God, the way they did what was right. You know, we need to have faith, but we need to cooperate with God, because God promised he will honor those who honor him. So we need to honor God.